welcome to the Halloween special of our podcast. Halloween was a couple of weeks ago, but we're reliving it now for one night only. Enjoy.
This is the first podcast where Karen and I are using our new Audio Technica Ep2 2020 microphone. Hopefully it sounds quite nice.
And if you remember, at the last podcast we said we'd get better at calling each other Ship and Dine.
Oh, shit!
We would like to say that we are going to get better. Thank you, Ship.
It's okay, Dash.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so this is going to be a podcast that revolves around scary stuff, scary stories, spooky stuff, and mostly things that just creep you out.
Yeah.
So we'll do would you rather questions, but scary ones.
So wait, scary would you rather questions?
Yeah, like, you know.
What would you rather face, a ghost or a zombie?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna get some scary stories. I'm gonna read some scary stories. Okay.
Okay.
This story is called Axe Murder Hollow.
Ooh.
Ooh, you scared?
Yep.
You will be. Susan and Ned are driving through.
Hang on. Are you going to use this voice throughout, or are you going to go back to... Sorry, Dine.
Dine, thank you. Jesus. I'm going to use this voice throughout.
Okay, go for it.
Susan and Ned were driving through a wooded, empty section of highway. Lightning flashing, thunder roared, and the shit bollocks. I need to get better at reading.
Shall I do the sound effects?
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. I'm going to go back to my voice, by the way.
Okay, go.
I can't do this. Susan and Ned were driving through a wooded, empty section of the highway. No, tell you what I'll do is I'll pause after each sentence, and then you do this.
Okay.
Then you do this.
Okay.
Sound.
Okay, I got it.
Brilliant. Susan and Ned were driving through a wooded, empty section of highway. Lightning flashed, thunder roared. The sky went dark in the torrential downpour. "We'd better stop," said Susan.
"We better stop."
No, we don't have to do that.
Okay.
Only do it when you think it's necessary, okay? Ned nodded his head in agreement. He stepped on the brake. And suddenly the car started to slide on the slick pavement. They plunged off the road and slid to a halt at the bottom of the incline. Pale and shaking, Ned quickly turned to check if Susan was all right. When she nodded, Ned relaxed and looked through the rain-soaked windows. "I'm going to see how bad it is," he told Susan. And when there's a spelling mistake. It's meant to be went, but it says when.
Okay. And
went out into the storm. She saw his blurry figure in the headlight, walking around the front of the car. A moment later, he jumped in beside her, soaking wet. "The car is not badly damaged, but we're wheel deep in mud," he said. "I'm going to have to go for help." Susan swallowed nervously. There would be no quick rescue here. He told her to turn off the headlights and lock the doors until he returned. Susan swallowed nervously again. That's the same line I already read.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Axe Murder Hollow. Although Ned hadn't said the name out loud, they both knew that they had been thinking when he told her to lock the car. This was the place where a man had once taken an axe and hacked his wife to death in a jealous rage over an alleged affair. Supposedly the axe-wielding spirit of the husband continued to haunt this section of the road. Outside the car, Susan heard a shriek, a loud thump, and a strange gurgling noise, but she couldn't see anything in the darkness. Frightened, she shrank down in her seat. She sat in silence for a while, and then she noticed another sound. Bump, bump, bump. It was a soft sound, like something being blown by the wind. Suddenly the car was illuminated by a bright light. An official-sounding voice told her to get out of the car. Ned must have found a police officer. Susan unlocked the car and stepped out of the car. As her eyes adjusted to the bright light, she saw it. Hanging by his feet from the next tree to the car was a dead body of Ned. His bloody throat had been cut so deeply that it was nearly decapitated. The wind swung the corpse back and forth so it thumped against the tree. Bump, bump, bump. Susan screamed and ran toward the voice and the light. As she drew close, she realised the light was not coming from a flashlight. There's a full stop there. I should really stop at those. Standing there was a glowing figure of a man with a smile on his face and a large, solid and definitely real axe in his hands. She backed away from the glowing figure until she bumped into the car. "Playing around when my back was turned?" the ghost whispered, stroking the sharp blade of the axe with his fingers. "You've been very naughty." The last thing she saw was a glint of the axe in the eerie, incandescent light.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Are you scared?
Oh my god.
I'm
please
scared.
stop.
Oh.
Let's turn the lights on. I'm really scared.
I'm
now.
scared as well, mate.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Do you want to tell a story now?
Yeah, go on then.
You tell a story. Hopefully it'll be better than my story.
Go on, let's go for Ebony Aggie.
Ebony Aggie.
When Felix Angus put up the life-size shrouded bronze statue of a grieving angel seated on a pedestal in the Angus family plot in the Druid Ridge Cemetery, he had no idea what he had started. The statue was a rather eerie figure by day, frozen in a moment of grief and terrible pain. At night, the figure was almost unbelievably creepy, the shroud over its head obscuring the face until you were up close to it. There was a living air about the grieving angel, as if its arms could be really reaching out and grabbing you if you weren't careful. It didn't take long for rumours to sweep through the town and surrounding countryside. They said the statue, nicknamed Black Aggie, was haunted by the spirit of a mistreated wife who lay beneath her feet.
Maybe it's the wife of the axe-wielding maniac.
Ah.
I think we've sussed this, mate.
The statue's eyes would glow red at the stroke of midnight, and any living person who returned the statue's gaze would be instantly struck blind. Any pregnant woman who passed through the shadow would miscarry. Jesus.
Oh my god, it's kind of taken a dark turn, hasn't it?
Save on abortion fees, just go past the statue. If you sat on her lap at night, the statue would come to life and crush you to death in a
I'm
dark
sorry,
embrace.
what?
Who sits on the statue at night?
That's what I do. When I walk past a statue, I just think, I'm going to sit on this.
Just sit on its lap.
Exactly.
If you spoke Black Aggie's name 3 times at midnight in front of a dark mirror.
What's a dark mirror?
A dark mirror.
That's one of those dark mirrors.
The evil angel would appear and pull you down to hell. They also said that spirits of the dead would rise from their graves on dark nights to gather around the statue at night. People began visiting the cemetery just to see the statue, and it was then that the local fraternity decided to make the statue of grief part of their initiation rites. Black Aggie, sitting where candidates for membership had to spend the night, crouched beneath the statue with their backs to the grave of General Angus, became popular.
Are you lost? Because I'm pretty damn lost.
Yeah. One dark night, 2 fraternity members accompanied a new hopeful to the cemetery and watched while he took his place underneath the creepy statue. The clouds had obscured the moon that night, and the whole area surrounding the dark statue was filled with a sense of anger and malice. It felt as if a storm were brewing in that part of the cemetery, and to their chagrin,
And to their chagrin,
the 2 fraternity members noticed that grey shadows seemed to be clustering around the body of the frightened fraternity candidate, crouching in front of the statue. What had been a funny initiation rite suddenly took on an air of danger. One of the fraternity brothers stepped forward in alarm to call out to the initiating candidate. As he did, the statue above the boy stirred ominously. The 2 fraternity brothers froze in shock as the shrouded head turned toward the new candidate. They saw the gleam of glowing red eyes beneath the concealing hood as the statue's arm raised and reached out towards the cowering boy. With shouts of alarm, the fraternity brothers leapt forward to rescue the new initiation member. But it was too late. The initiate gave one horrified yell, and then his body disappeared into the embrace of the dark angel. The fraternity brothers skidded at a halt as the statue thoughtfully rested its glowing eyes upon them. With gasps of terror, the boys fled from the cemetery before the statue could grab them too.
Oh my god.
Hearing the screams at night, watchmen hurried to the Angus plot. To his chagrin, he discovered the body of
What's
a young...
a chagrin?
I know, he loves this fucking word.
God, we'll Google chagrin after this.
To his chagrin, he discovered the body of a young man laying at the foot of the statue. The young man had apparently died of fright. The disruption caused by the statue grew so acute that Angus' family finally donated it to the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. The grieving angel sat for many years in storage there again to plague the citizens by visiting the Druid Hill Park Cemetery.
Brilliant. By the way, chagrin means to feel distressed or humiliated.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was a piss poor story, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, they're all bad though.
They are pretty bad.
They're all bad.
Spooky.
Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Okay, I want to talk about a topic, not reading from these shit stories.
Yeah.
And what do you think if an alien did come to Earth, what would it look like? How do you envision an alien?
This is the thing. I don't think that aliens would come to Earth. In my head, like...
No, but hypothetically, say if they did come to Earth, what would they look like?
Well, okay, let me explain my idea. My idea is that most aliens are probably like little, very small...
little baby.
Like little bugs, like mosquitoes or... what are those things with shells? Not snails, but like... The black things.
Oh, the black things. Mollusk?
Sort of stuff like that, yeah.
Not scallop, but...
It's got these have little
mollusks.
claws as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Sea urchins?
No. So I imagine most of them are really like undeveloped, as it were, things like that. And I think the idea that they have this incredible technology and these guns which fire bright green neon bullets and...
every battle with them is like a rave, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that...
They fight with dubstep.
I don't think that's my idea of what they'd be like. Having said that, I suppose if they were advanced enough to come to Earth, then that's a possibility. But I'd say that like 99.9% of the other things that exist in this world are undeveloped moving objects without brains.
You're saying every alien is like a third world country?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
So we have to there's going to be adverts. If aliens do come to Earth, there's going to be adverts saying, Chinkoka walks 2 miles a day to fill up his alien bucket of water. If you could just give $2 space, you could help make him have water all the time.
No, I'm suggesting that aliens are more like animals.
Animals, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
Like bugs and reptiles, rather than... Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean, yeah. So more like dinosaurs.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But what if they're more developed than we are?
Well, then I've no idea.
Yeah. Spooky. In keeping with our Halloween theme, say, hypothetically, there was a zombie apocalypse. So the whole world's gone to shit. There's zombies everywhere. And we're talking about these fast zombies, none of this slow bullshit. Fast zombies, and you find yourself in your house and you're on your own. What is your plan? How do you survive a zombie apocalypse?
How many zombies are there, sorry?
Well, to your knowledge, everyone in the world, where they stand right now, is now a zombie.
Right, and how... I've always been a bit confused. How do zombies know I am? They can smell me.
Well, yeah, if they see you, then they can see you, they can smell you, they can hear you.
So I take it we're using our current residence.
Yes. So you're where you live right now.
Okay, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I leave my room. Then I walk down the stairs. Then I turn immediate right.
Remember, there are people in your flat at the minute, your house, sorry. So they're gonna be zombies where they stand right now. So it makes it quite difficult.
What?
Well, everyone where they're standing.
So
right
basically,
now,
I just have to stay in my room.
No, but you have to maybe forge a weapon out of stuff you've got in your room. Because if you just walk out your room, you're a walking target.
Okay, so you want me to forge a weapon out of my
Well, you
stuff?
don't have to, but I'm just helping you survive your stupid mission of dying.
Well, I didn't know there were people in the room already.
Yeah, everyone's standing right now. That's where they become a zombie.
Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech.
You know, so actually the other day I had quite an interesting story to relate to you. People in my flat had gone out drinking. It was a house party nearby, and I had, for whatever reason, I think it was an interview I had the next day. I was studying.
Yeah.
And I was in my room, had my earbuds in, and then, quite focused in my work, quite engrossed, thought everyone had gone, and, wasn't expecting any noise. Anyway, the next thing I hear is this sort of, noise from the door area. So I'm like, okay, someone's come back, that's fine. So I'm not particularly worried, so I carry on my work. Then I hear like another noise, and now I'm a bit confused because usually when we come in, we say, "Hello, anyone in?" That type of thing.
Oh,
just
so
so
everyone knows you're in.
Yeah, and anyway, so at this point I'm a bit bloody scared. So I go as quietly as I can down the staircase, my fist clenched, to the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
And I stay there for a good 5 minutes listening because I
know what you mean.
I'm actually in that mood where I'm like, shit, I'm fucking scared. I don't hear anything, nothing at all.
Jesus, on your own as well.
Yeah, no sound whatsoever. And then I go downstairs, and Jonathan's in his room, and so I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I'm still really spooked out for the rest of the night. So what I ended up doing was taking our biggest butcher's knife up to my room. So actually, at the moment, I do actually have in my room.
That's so.
What?
That's so just creepy having a big butcher's knife in your room.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's good for the zombie story. Then. So, mate, you're saying about your zombie story, how you're going to survive this epidemic. The Ebola virus has gone out of control. Everyone's zombies. Go.
So, as I've said, I've got a butcher's knife in my room as it is already. So I don't see why it'd be very difficult. So the first thing I do is walk out my door, stab JS. He's dead. Walk down the stairs, stab the other two, and then lock myself in the basement.
You have a basement?
Yeah.
You have a basement in your flat?
Yes.
Where do you get into it? How do you get into it?
Do you know where Jonathan's room is?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a door there, turn right.
You're kidding me. That's so weird. You're going to have to show me one time?
Okay.
That's really weird.
It's really dungeony.
Is it?
Like beforehand, there was thousands of dead wasps in there and stuff, but we got them to clear it out.
Oh, really?
It still smelled really damp though.
Oh, man, that's quite scary. That's why we should be recording this tonight.
Yeah.
So you just hide in the basement. What do you do for food?
I have zombie flesh.
I think it'd be cool though. Say if me and you were the last alive, trying to survive zombie apocalypse together.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Quite fun.
That would be fun.
I mean, we'd be totally screwed.
Oh yeah, definitely. What would be our end goal? Say if we had to get somewhere by the end, what would be our end goal, do you think?
Get to Madagascar.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be Madagascar in reality. It'd be like some Shetland Islands.
Oh yeah, the Isle of Wight or something.
Isle of Wight's pretty big.
Yeah.
There are people that live there.
Okay, Craggy Island.
Yeah, okay, Craggy Island.
Craggy Island. Father the Ted, Craggy Island.
Okay.
That'd be good. And then we could just we could border up the whole...
Have like a Boeing 747 we stolen from Heathrow or something.
Yes, that'd be good. That'd be so cool.
Just parked on the side of the cliff.
We'll become the richest people alive.
Well, by default.
But my God, we'll be rich.
By default, we'd become, even if we didn't have any pennies, we'd become two of the richest people alive because we're only two people alive.
Yeah, I would have a pick of the birds. I mean, the actual birds, because metaphorical birds don't exist anymore.
Okay.
Won't you play with me? Spooky!
Yeah. Shall we, I don't know, should we play video games or something?